What is going on, you beautiful people of Neverwinter? It's your boy, one and only, Frank, back at it again with another Neverwinter video. This video here, I got a lot of people asking me to make a current build before Mod 14. I wasn't about it, but I guess since so many people asked for it, why not give the people what they want? So that's what this video is going to be. I kind of botched the last video that I made. I really didn't go into detail, and it showed. So this one here, we're going to go through everything. Literally everything. Okay? So sit back, relax, and save your questions for the end. And then I will be more than happy to answer them. Okay? So we're going to get into it. This right here is going to be the 17.6K Great Weapon Fighter build Mod 13. Okay? Mod 13. To start off with, we're going to do the front page. Okay? As you see here in the artifacts, we have the Soul Sight, we have the Eye of the Giant, we have the Orcus Shard, and we have the Fragmented Key of the Stars. For those people who are trying to reach certain caps, there may or may not be a better one for you, especially for the Eye of the Giant here. Some people are using artifacts that give you 1,000 crit, 1,000 armor pen, because those are the caps that you need to hit at the end game. So other than that, you need this, obviously. This is already giving you 1,000 armor pen, 1,000 power, 1,000 crit. You could supplement this out for something, again, that gives you 1,000 crit, 1,000 armor pen. But making up that 400 crit is really nothing. That 400 crit only translates to 1%. So 1% crit chance. So that really is nothing. So again, these two here can fluctuate depending on what stats you need. Obviously these two here will stay the same. As for the left side, I'm running the Primal Assault. This is the only option if you're talking about Primal. This is Primal only. It is the best one out of the two. So all my utility slots are going to be dark. All my enchantments, for the most part, are 13s. Okay? So for the head, we went with the Primal Assault Kofia. For the chest, we went for the Kino of the Bear. To me, this is best in slot. I don't have the hunt gear. Before you guys butcher me in the chat about the hunt gear, I might want the grind for the hunts. I will, trade for the hunt pieces, or get into a group that allows me to get the hunts. But I'm not a very good person with the trusting people. So I went with the Primal Raid Bagilli. Everything on the left side here is going to be reinforced with power. We have the Primal Weapon set. For the enchantments, for the most part, they're all brutals. Just for the power and crit, because for the Great Weapon Fighter, you are going to want to hit 100% crit chance. That's where you're going to see your most DPS. That, along with hitting your armor pen caps. For the weapon enchant, I use a Unparalleled Lightning. For single target, I will swap this out for a Unparalleled Fate Touch. Yeah, Mod 14, the Prominence enchantment coming out, they are claiming that that might be best in slot in certain groups. So we have yet to see. I'm not going to talk more about that because, again, I don't have the information and I don't want to give you guys false information. So again, for the most part, for the offense, brutals, once in a while you'll see me with a Azure or a Radiant. I'm still min-maxing a little bit. I'm overclocking crit, but that's that's another story. So I like the artifact set bonus. For the powers, I'm running Short Strike. I am running Wrathful Determination and Companion Influence, which is giving me 390. So that's pretty good. For the boots, I am running the Primal Raid Lapulus. I butchered it. Okay, give me a break, huh? Give me a break, huh? Again, dark utility, reinforced with power. If you're one of those people who are struggling to crit, you can reinforce these with crit, but there's better ways to get to crit. Yeah, if you understand what I'm saying. For the right side, the other 66.66% of the Orga set, I am running the Bronzewood Raid rings. Outside of the rings that you get from Fane and the maps, these are probably best in slot. They're offering 814 crit, 543 power with 2 offensive slots. Rings are going to change here in mod 14, as they always do. I'm not going to speculate what will be best in slot and what won't be best in slot. I know the Slayer of the Undead ring is going to be best in slot for mod 14 content, just because everything is supposedly undead. So if you haven't yet grinded for those, by all means. And as you see here, there's an Azure. I can substitute that out for a the Brutal, or I can substitute that out for a Radiant. Again, I haven't yet min-maxed. I'm trying to wait until mod 14, but again, you could try that as well. And for the Primal, I have the upper Primal pants and shirt that you get from the treasures. I know some of you guys might say in the comments below that run Radiance on your defensive slot for more HP, for Aura of Courage for your pally. But again, I don't have a set group that I run with every day. I don't have the same 4 people that we get picked up and we run content every day. So I've yet to make that transition. Maybe when I get that group and there's a pally in that group and that pally hits me up as soon as I log on and we get the dungeon grind going, maybe I'll make a specific loadout for the Radiance. So that is something else that you guys can look forward to. I know a lot of the end game, like the top 1% people, are running the Radiance for that reason. But again, those people have designated groups they run with all the time. So yeah. For your stats, straight strength, straight charisma. As you see, these are a little lower than what they're normally. I don't have the campfire bonus, as I am sitting in the middle of the enclave. The stat wise, I'm sitting at 47.5 power, 21.7 crit. My armor pen's low, base wise. I proc a lot of it in companion. We'll get to that here soon. Again, the whole boons, substituting the defense for the hit points. Again, I'm just sitting in the middle of the enclave. If you guys want to see what my stats proc up to, let's shoot for 50-11 likes. 50-11 likes and we'll get it going. Okay, we'll show you what the stats proc up to, what you need to hit, what you need to do, blah blah. Okay, that's for another video though, because this is what you need to pay attention to when you're looking for your stats. All right, for the powers, I will not spend a lot of time in this section here, just because everything should be automatic. Sure Strike, Weapon Master Strike, Destroyer, Wrathful Determination. Some great weapon fighters run Slam and Crescendo. They pop Crescendo at the beginning of bosses to build their determination. Some people will run the Spinning Strike just so they can action cancel that to pop Shepherd's Devotion. So that's a thing as well too. So for your dailies, I'm running Slam and Crescendo. For your at-wills, Sure Strike, Weapon Master Strike. And for your encounters, I'm running Fury, Daggers, and Indomitable Battle Strike. These you can fluctuate between which, I know a lot of people, since Pally is in demand and GFs kind of aren't, I know a lot of people have been running Fury, Shout, and Daggers just so they can proc Fury, they can mark the targets, and Indomitable Battle Strike for mobs is kind of it's kind of because they're dying so quick. Just so they can get the mark on, because shouting and hitting the enemies with shout, you get a lot of AP. Obviously that's not going to be the case for single target or boss fights. They're gonna, do whatever they need to do to get Indomitable Battle Strike in there, because that's your heavy hitter. So yeah, again, these things fluctuate. I am running a Fury build. So those who don't know, Fury increase your at-will and encounter damage as well as your action point gain for a brief period. In addition, when first activating, your stamina is refilled, your teammates is also buffed, and the buff gain 25% of your benefits. This power can only be activated while moving. And as you see here, it gives you the stuff here, what it gives for each tier. I'm completely maxed out on points, so everything has 4 points. So this is a Fury build. Fury build if you haven't yet seen one. We'll get into that in the feats. Feats, I'm only running 1 out of 5 on Unstoppable Action, because again, this is Fury build, not Slam, so the action point gain is kind of but Slam is nice. It's nice to, proc Slam and, start hitting everything now that Slam crits. There are these two here, or I'm sorry, we'll go ahead and conclude this. Endless Assault, Disciple of Strength, and Toughness all should have 3 out of 3. There's no justifying not having 3 out of 3. So these all will have 3 out of 3. The hit points, the increasing amount of bonus strength gives you, and your encounter powers do 6% more. We're going to go up here to Steely Defense. Grants power equal to 20% of your defense. There is an equation out there to see if you're gaining more, because a lot of people's hit wound isn't maxed out. If you're getting more from defense for a Great Weapon Fighter, or if you're gaining more outgoing DPS for the Pallies or of Courage if you switch 2 hit points. Again, I can't do that for you guys, but that's what they're saying. This here, this brings me back to min-maxing. I could take, because right now I'm over 6%. I'm over 3 to 6% crit. So those who are doing the math, that's, anywhere between 1,200 to 2K crit that I can lose. I can take these points out of here and put them into Unstoppable Action if I would like. That's going to cause me to lose 800. Or I'm sorry, yeah, about 800 crit or 2% crit chance. So that is for the heroic feats. The crit severity is still crit severity. I'm still waiting for a build, being that a lot of people have switched their crit severity companion for a DPS companion. I'm waiting to see how crit severity is going to suffer from that. But as of right now, you're running 3 out of 3 out of this devastating critical, or your Destroyer Paragon. This has changed a little bit from 12 to 13 mod. We'll talk about that. Great Weapon Focus is 5 out of 5. Staying Power is 5 out of 5. Before, people were proccing Disciple of Power, 5 out of 5 here. Grants power equal to 25% of your recovery and armor pen. But since I'm going to use this loosely, quote unquote, fixed this Mighty Blade here, people have been putting 5 out of 5 in this. Your damage is increased by 10% while striking multiple enemies. Weapon Master Strike, daggers, slam, things like that. So, and again, as you've seen earlier, my base power and recovery isn't a lot. Armor pen and recovery. So you're talking almost 7,000. So I'm getting 20% of 7,000, okay. So we're going to go to the last 4, I'm sorry. Executioner Style. Again, this is a must. The Focus Destroyer is a must. These two here probably will never ever change. Okay. This is a Fury build, so I'm having 5 out of 5 out of Relentless Battle Fury instead of Battle Awareness. Battle Awareness is a slam build. Battle Fury obviously is a Fury build. Reduce the cooldown of Roar, Takedown, Battle Fury by 50%. The damage of Roar and Takedown are increased by 25%, and the duration of Battle Fury is increased by 25%. So basically, this is basically keeping a 100% uptime of Fury at any given second, because it's keeping the duration of Battle Fury up 25%, and with the cooldowns and stuff like that, you can proc it at will, pretty much. And again, Destroyer's purpose, this will probably never change. As for the Sentinel Paragon path, I went with Scale Agility and Powerful Challenge. Obviously, Powerful Challenge is where you want to be. It's giving you 15% outgoing damage on marked targets. Again, shout. We're not going to get into it. That is your Paragons. A lot hasn't changed. I'm sorry, a lot stays the same. The only thing that really has changed is the Mighty Blade and substitute with for Disciple Power. Boons. I'm running Power. Again, I'm running defense because I'm just standing here. I run an experience gain for the most part, because I don't, outside of doing the few dailies that I do per day, I don't need the movement speed. And obviously all the dungeons out there, you can't use your mountain. So I just like getting level ups. I like opening the level ups on double enchants to get, you know, the benefit of getting double enchants, obviously. So that's it. For those who don't know, the PvP boon is not going to honor item level come mod 14. So that 500 item level you're getting is going to be cut. BTW. We went with Dark Fey Hunter, Fey Precision, Fey Wild's Fortitude, Elven Ferocity. Oh my god, brother. And Elvis Fury. A lot of these boons are going to be, you know, they're going to be the same. I got a lot of shit for not going through the boons last time, so we're going to briefly go through them this time. For the Grave Weapon Fighter, a lot of these aren't going to change. We went to the top, or bottom top, bottom, and then we went with Rampaging Madness. These, again, aren't going to change. You can, however, substitute one of these out if you would like, but again, for the most part, these should be best in slot. I could min-max a little bit and put this into power, gain 250 more power, and lose the 250 crit, but again, that comes to min-maxing. So if you're struggling to hit crit, you're gonna want to hit all the boons that give you crit over power, because hitting 100%, it's tough sometimes, especially if your bondings are procking, you know, at 14s or 13s, and you have low bondings and low enchantments, and you know, at that point you probably shouldn't be in in-game, and you shouldn't worry about having, you know, this, that, and the other. But 100% crit. We are the full bottom row for Ice Window. Again, a lot of this stuff really shouldn't change. I'm not going to go and point out all the ones that could or could not change, because that will make this a 40-minute video, and half of you guys have probably already clicked off this. So, again, those who are watching, I'm going over the boons here. And Tyranny, I can talk a little bit about Tyranny here. For the last boon, I went with the 2 out of 3 in Dragon's Fury, and the 1 out of 3 out of Dragon's Thirst. This just helps the survivability of the Great Weapon Fighter. Getting the lifesteal, the 4% lifesteal, is better than the 1.5% crit severity to me. It allows me to run ahead, it allows me to take a hit along with my unparalleled negation to replenish some of my hit points. So that this, along with the negation, along with the set bonus for the primal, my survivability is increased through the roof pretty much. But obviously that's not going to help you getting one shot. So you can put all three here. Survivability wise, I'd put one here. Maze Engine, Lifesteal Severity, Combat Advantage, Action Point Gain. I have no idea why I'm here, to be honest with you. Makes no sense. You're going to want to go with Bahamut's Might. What in the world did I do, huh? Get them out. 3 here for Elemental Evil, and then the Gale of Retribution down here. Storm King's Thunder. I really don't like the boons in Storm King's Thunder. They're pointless to me for the most part. But here you go. And Cloak Ascendancy. I went with Aura of Hope, Fury Frenzy, Fabiars, and at the top here, I went with Ambient Slaughter. And for Cholt, I went 3 out of 3 out of Tyrant's Terror. Gives me the power and the hit points. I went 3 out of 3 out of defense. Gives me defense, power, and hit points. Gives me 250 power because of your feats. And then I went 1 out of 2 out of Soul Siphon and Lingering Curse. For companions, again, these have switched a little bit. I've been testing out Ironies of Belial here. Sometimes I put fire in. To me, Fire Archon is only good for single target bosses. This is good on mobs per se because Fire Archon is only giving you the outgoing damage if the target's at 50% or less. So to me, that's not worth it. But you do proc the additional Archon 0.5%, blase blah. So we'll talk about that. I'm not switching this out for the alpha. I know it's 1% more, but I'm not wasting a mil getting it up to legendary just to switch it out for the new companion coming in mod 14, the Razorwood. I'm not doing it. I'm not wasting the AD. That's it. So before you say, well, Frank, the Siege Master's not the best in slot, Frank, won't you get an alpha? That's why. So I do have the fire at legendary. Again, once in a while I will switch this out if I'm trying to go beast mode. And yeah, that's that. For the main, I have 14 bondings. I have a Bronzewood Raid Ring. I have a Ring of Grave Striker 4. This will give you the power bonus. So as of right now, I'm running that. And for the necklace, Bold Necklace of Companion 4. For those who don't know, mod 14 lockbox is going to drop bloodied packs that give you adorable bite set gear, or gives you +5 gear from IG, Illusionist Gambit. Those +5s are going to have 2 offensive slots. So something you might want to look into. For the enchantments, they're all over the place. I'm not gonna lie, they're all over the place. It's because I'm trying to hit the armor pen and crit. So I'm running a Demonic 13, a Brutal 13 on this ring, a Brutal 14 and a Radiant 14 on this one, and a Brutal 14 and a Brutal 13 on this one. As you see, I've started getting the 14s for my companion enchantments first, again, because you're going to get more stats from it. So that's that. You can substitute these rings out. Again, the Grave Striker and the one that you get from Fane, they're going to be good for you. So we'll see. As of right now, I am hitting both my caps. I do have to pick up a little more come mod 14 for armor pin, but that's another story. That is my companions, and for the mounts, I'm running Shepherd's Devotion, Artificer's Persuasion, Cavalry's Warning, Covenant, and Protector's Camaraderie. If you guys have questions on why I'm running these things, please let me know in the comments below. For the most part, these are standard. Oh my! I've seen a few people substitute 1 or 2 of these out, but for the most part, these are pretty good. A Covenant's good. Shepherd's Devotion. Whenever you use a daily, your power, whenever you use daily power, your teammates' defense, deflection, movement speed are increased by 5% of your power for 10 seconds. So whenever I use my daily, at this given point, 2,378 deflection, defense, and movement gained, not me, but all the people in my group. So everyone should be running Devotion. If 4 people prac Devotion, my stats for defense, deflection, and movement should be outrageous. So that's what in-game players are doing. They're procking their little artifacts and their dailies to get this going. So that's that. Whenever you use an artifact power, your recovery, movement, action point gain, and stamina gain are increased by 10% of your power for 15 seconds. So as you see in the little parentheses here, it tells you how much you're getting at your current stat level. So 4,700 recovery, movement, action point, and stamina gain when you use artifact power. Warning, whenever you activate a mount combat power, you gain increased 10% power, recovery, armor pen, crit, defense, deflection, regeneration, lifesteal. To me, that should be best in slot. For Covenant, you lose 10% of your defense, deflection, and lifesteal, and gain combination of those lost stats as power. And Camaraderie. When you summon companion attacks, you gain 3% of the power and defense for 10 seconds. This effect stacks up to 4 times. I remember when Camaraderie was stackable, and it was broken. It was broken. But we're not going to talk about that. For the actual insignias themselves, they are all over the place. Again, that's due for me not min-maxing. I am going to substitute these 2 blue enlightenings out for armor pen. And then at that given point, we're going to see where my armor pen's at, and we're going to min-max. I know a lot of the armor coming out in Mod 14 is going to have a lot of base armor pen. So I don't want to min-max, get that, and then have to min-max again. For those who are scratching their head and wondering what min-max is for in-game players to supplement things in and out to gain more DPS, to gain more stats, to benefit their character and group more. So, for example, back to the crit, I'm proccing 103% crit. So min-maxing, I could lose crit, put it in something like power to help the DPS. You understand what the min-max is now? That's something as well. Min-maxing at in-game is probably the best thing for you. But normally, min-maxing will cost you AD at some point. At some point, min-maxing is going to cost you AD, whether it's respecking, whether it's this, that, or the other, whether it's substituting in insignias, whether I just spent 130k swapping out the head. Why do you ask? Frank, they're for seals. Well, I had to trade the head in for more armor pen. And then I had to put the reinforcement kit back on the head. And then I had to transmute the head again. So you're talking, 100 and some K for the armor pen kit and the power kit. And you're talking, 5K to transmod. So that's my character. That's the full in-depth build. 17.6 Great Weapon Fighter, Mod 13. If you have any questions, please leave them below. And if you thought I did a good job, like that like button, could you? And smash the sub button, could you? Because, man, we're getting there, huh? That's all I have to say, and this is Frank signing out. Peace.